In business statistics, in the previous lessons, we have seen about the introduction of business statistics, and we have also seen about the central tendencies first part. So as we have seen in the first part, we will be covering about the arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean. So far, we have learnt about the arithmetic mean, about the concepts of arithmetic mean, like meaning of arithmetic mean, merits and demerits of arithmetic mean, and uses of arithmetic mean. And we have also seen how to calculate the arithmetic mean in a given series, like individual observations, discrete series, and continuous series. In all the three series, we have seen different methods of calculating, which are direct method and shortcut method. In continuous series, in addition to the direct method and shortcut method, we have also step deviation method. After the calculation of arithmetic mean, we have seen about the cumulative frequencies, how to convert the cumulative frequency to a simple frequency distribution or ordinary frequency distribution, and calculation of arithmetic mean. We have also seen about the missing data in the arithmetic mean calculation, and we have found out either variable or frequency which is missing. We have also seen how to recalculate the arithmetic mean when some data is wrongly taken and calculated the arithmetic mean wrongly, and later on correcting the data and recalculating the correct arithmetic mean. In this lesson, we will continue to learn the geometric mean. The whole concepts of geometric mean and calculation of geometric mean is covered in this lesson, namely meaning, merits and demerits, calculation of geometric mean from an individual observation series, discrete series, and also continuous series. The student is expected to understand, after completion of this topic, the geometric mean, meaning, merits and demerits, and also calculation of geometric mean in individual series, that is individual observations, discrete series, and also continuous series. And also continuous series. So, to quickly recap the previous lesson, we have seen how to calculate the arithmetic mean, recalculate the arithmetic mean when an incorrect value is taken and arithmetic mean is wrongly calculated. And later on, we have seen how to recalculate by taking the correct data and calculation of arithmetic mean. We have also seen combined arithmetic mean when two or more related groups of data is given. And weighted arithmetic mean, because arithmetic mean depends on the weightage or importance attached to the class interval. How to consider the weights and calculate the weighted arithmetic mean. Now we will see the definition of geometric mean. Geometric mean is defined as the nth root of the product of n items or values. Nth root means n square root of x. This n is coming will come here at the point where I pointed out. That means that is called nth root of the product of n items. Product means when the numbers given are multiplied, that is called product. So here, for example, two values are given and when we are calculating the geometric mean, the calculation of geometric mean is done by multiplying these two numbers and square rooting the two numbers. For example, if the numbers are 3 and 6, or for example 3 and 9. So when we are finding the geometric mean, first step is to calculate the product. That means multiply the given numbers 3 and 9. So 3 and 9 is 27. Now take the square root. That means here at this point we have to put 2 and under root 27, or it can alternatively be written as x to the power 1 by 2. x to the power 1 by 2. So the square root answer of 27 is the geometric mean. In the same manner, if three numbers are given, then the product of three numbers is calculated. For example, 3, 9 and 27. 3 into 9 into 27, that is 27 into 27, 729. That is taken under root with 3 here. This is understood as x to the power, that is 729 to the power 1 by 3. It can also be written as 729 to the power 1 by 3. That means cube root. We will call it as cube root because 3 is there. 3 is called cube root. So the 729 cube root is 9. So the answer is 9. So this is how we will calculate the geometric mean. If you are given with 5 numbers, then 5th root of x. That means 5 is put here and x, or x to the power 1 by 5. So like this we will calculate the geometric mean for the given numbers or items. Again, we can also calculate the geometric mean in individual observations, in discrete series, and also continuous series. So in individual observations and in discrete series and continuous series, we will also have frequency. So that frequency is taken into consideration while calculating the geometric mean. How it should be calculated, we will see in the next slides. For example, here for two items, calculate their square root. I have explained you, that is the two numbers are 6 and 24 is 12. That is 6 into 24 product. The product is 144 and square root of 144 is 12. And as I explained you, the geometric mean of three numbers 3, 8, 9 is 6. So 3 into 8 into 9 is equal to 216, and cube root of 216, since 3 cannot be written inside the square root uh, in the computer, I am showing like that, is equal to 6. If there are 3 or more items, we can also take the help of logarithms to get the geometric mean. How to use the logarithms? You can just learn, or some random very useful numbers are given in this lesson that you can remember. Now we will see the merits of geometric mean. First merit is based on each and every value in series, the geometric mean is calculated because we are taking each and every value given in the series for calculation of the geometric mean. Even in case of arithmetic mean also, we have taken each and every value of the arithmetic the series given, and then we are calculating the arithmetic mean. For example, if individual observations only one column will be there, we are calculating the arithmetic mean basing on that one column. In discrete series and continuous series, we have two data, that is class interval and frequency, or series and frequency in case of discrete series. We are calculating the arithmetic mean by taking the midpoints of the series given and frequency, then we are calculating the arithmetic mean. If it is weighted arithmetic mean, we are given with the series, frequency, and also weights. So when weights are given, even weights are also taken into account for calculating the arithmetic mean. So every single item, the whatever the nature of item may be, we are taking into consideration for calculating of the arithmetic mean. In the same way, every value given in the series is taken for calculating the geometric mean. That means it is very reliable and it is appropriately calculated. It is very rigidly defined. Rigidly defined means exactly defined as nth root of the product of the given series. That's all. There is no deviation, there is no alternative for this. It is a useful average in ratios and percentages also. Arithmetic mean was not calculated in ratios and percentages. But here we can calculate the geometric mean when ratios and percentages of average of ratios and percentages are given. Next merit is determines rates of increase or decrease. It indicates the rates at which the increase or decrease of geometric mean is behaving. Rate means at 10%, at 20%, the increase. For example, prices year to year, we can calculate the rate in percentages like that. Gives lesser weight to large items and more to smaller ones. If the number is very small, then it is having more importance in geometric mean. If it is large number, there is no importance because that does not have any effect on the data. Suitable to algebraic manipulation also. And now we will see demerits. It is difficult to understand. First of all, it is very difficult to understand and you apply the geometric mean. If you understand the geometric mean well, and if you clearly know how to apply the geometric mean formula, then it is very easy. Otherwise, it is very difficult. It is difficult to compute and interpret also. Geometric mean cannot be computed when both negative and positive values are given, because negative values indicate very less number and positive indicate very large number. When both negative and positive values are given, it cannot be calculated. If the series is having one or more values as 0, if the series is having one or two zeros, if 1 0 is also there, then the geometric mean becomes 0, because we are taking the product of the numbers. Suppose we are taking 10 numbers for calculating the geometric mean. Then all the numbers are multiplied. That means 0 is also multiplied. When any number, however it may be large or small, any number which is multiplied by 0 is 0. So there is no point in calculating the geometric mean by taking the nth root, that is 10th root to this 0. So ultimately the geometric mean is 0. So we cannot calculate when the series contains even 1 0. So for your benefit, I am giving the logarithms table and anti-logarithm tables which are necessary for calculating the geometric mean. So you can take help of these tables and calculate. For example, if I want to see the logarithms of a given number, that is 3589. I will show you the method of calculating the logarithm of 3589. Now here before decimal how many digits are there, after decimal how many digits are there, we have to see. So before decimal, if we have n number of numbers, that is any numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits, that means now we have 3589. That means 4 digits are there, 3589, 3589. So if 4 digits are given, then we will take 3 as first number. How we will put is 3 point, then first two numbers, first two digits are taken. The first two digits are 3 and 5, 35. So 35 is taken in this column. In this column you search for 35. Here 35 is there. This is the row relating to 35. So in 35 you search for 8 in the column. First of all, we have taken 2 digits 35, and third digit here we have to take. This is the third digit, 3589. I said 35 is over, 8 we have to take. This is the number related to 3589 or 358. Then this number is taken 3.5539, and we have still 9. That means 35, 8 is over, and 9 we have to search here for 9. This is the 9 column, related column. In 9 related column, we have 11 against 35. That is mean differences. For the fourth digit, we will take mean difference. That means 5539, 3.5539 plus 11. This 11 should be added to 5539. So 3.5539 plus 11. That means 3.5550. That is the logarithm of 3589. So in this way, we have to take the logarithm. Suppose if you are multiplying two numbers, 3589 and 7955. So you take logarithms separately for both the numbers and then add both these logarithms. The result is the same what we get when we multiply 3589 and 7759. So this is the method of taking logarithm. And anti-logarithms are reverse. Now for example, 3589 into 7599. Take these two numbers and find the product. What we will get is this one, 2 crores 72 lakhs 72,811. Now we will check the logarithm table, how much we will get. So just now I have explained you how to calculate the logarithm for 35, 3589. So 3589 logarithm is 5550 and 3.5550, and then we will take logarithm of 7599. That means in 75 is on the other page. In 75, 9, 8802 plus 5, 8807. So 3.5550 plus 8807. 7.4357. Now we have to see this number in anti-logarithms. The answer is 7.4357 for the logarithm. Now we have to go to anti-logarithm, that is there in the next pages. In anti-logarithm, first you do not take that 7, you keep 7 aside. You take 0.43. So 0.43 is here, same as we have seen in the logarithms. In anti-logarithms also we have to see the same. 0.43 in 5. This is 5, 2723. And mean difference 7. 2723 and 4. 2727. 2727. Now you write this 2727 aside. Now coming to the seven part. Before decimal we have 7. When we are calculating the logarithm, we have taken 3 for 4 digits. 3 for 4 digits. This 3 is called characteristic of that number. So we'll consider this part. 7 is the characteristic of the and logarithm of the number which is taken for anti-logarithm. 7. 7 means how many digits we should have? When we go back to logarithms, we have taken 3 for 4 digits. Now 7 means 8 digits we have to take. 8 digits. So here what we got is 2723 plus 4, 2727. So here we have to put 2727 and then 4 zeros after 2727. That means 8 digits should be there in the number. So we will take 2727, 4 zeros. So that is the product of the given numbers. That is 3589 into 7599. Now you calculate the same numbers. First of all, you have to remember that by using logarithms, we will get only approximate number, but not the exact number. We will get only approximate number. Right? So this is the procedure of using logarithms and anti-logarithms. Hope you have understood, because I have not used any board for showing you the demonstration. If you have not understood, you again listen to this part of the lesson so that you can understand. Even if you do not understand also, you please ignore, because nowadays we are using technology and we are putting into use the calculators. So you need not worry for anything. Calculators are allowed in the examination and we will use the calculator for finding the product. Right. Even in scientific calculator also, we have facility of finding the nth root of the given number. So we need not bother about the logarithm table. Just to understand how to make use of logarithms, I have shown you. I have explained you. Right. Now we will go for formula in different methods. First, we will see individual series. So as I said, individual observations will have only one column. Again, we will take a table which is consisting of two columns. So here we will take two columns or three columns, because we have to put log x also. We have to take three columns. First one is name of the series. Second one is value of the series. Third one is log x. So the formula is log gm is equal to log, not log, gm is equal to, you need not write log, gm is equal to, that is geometric mean, is equal to log x1. X1 is first number in the series, x2 is second number in the series, so on up to the given numbers. Suppose you have 6 numbers, so log x1 plus log x2 plus log x3 plus log x4 plus log x5, etc. Because when we take log, we'll add the numbers. After taking logarithm, we will not multiply them. You can also directly calculate the arithmetic mean by taking multiplication of all the numbers. But I am showing you the procedure. So up to 6 numbers, as we have taken in the example. Now second is log geometric mean is equal to sigma log x by n. That means we have to add all the log values of the given numbers. Then we have to find out antilog of sigma log x by n. Actually, in the formula from here also, we have to put antilog before this. Antilog of this one, antilog of this one, antilog of this one. So the final formula is this one. Geometric mean is equal to antilog of sigma log x by n, where n is the number of items and sigma log x is sum of logarithms of original items. This we will understand when we take the example. Find the logarithm of each item and put it in the third column, that is log x. The heading of the column is log x, and obtain the total of log x column, that is called sigma log x, and divide the total of logarithms by the number of items, that is n, and find anti-logarithm of coefficient obtained. Coefficient means the result obtained. In this example, we have taken 10 workers. That is, series consists of 10 numbers. So here weekly wages are given. We have to calculate the geometric mean of the weekly wages, this series. Going to solution, n is equal to 10. Weekly wages, we will take logarithms. 13 logarithm is 1.1139. As I explained you, the characteristic of numbers given before decimal is number of digits minus 1. Number of digits are 2 here. That is 1.1139. We have to see 13 and in 0 column. 13 in 0 column, 1139. 18.5, we have to take only first two numbers. Suppose if no number is there, no digit is there before decimal, that is 0 point if you have, then the characteristic is called Manteso. And if this after decimal we have so many numbers, that means before decimal we do not have any numbers. and after decimal if you have digits, then minus of we have to take. Just for your understanding, I am explaining you. Right, here 18 means two digits are there, one we have to put. The logarithm for 18, 5 column value 2672. Like this, we have to take logarithms of all these digits. Here you see only one digit is there, so 0 is taken because 1 minus 1 is 0. And 75, 0 column 8751. So the sum of all logarithms log x is sigma log x is equal to 12.9124. Now applying the formula sigma log x by n. Now sigma log x by n is 12.9124 divided by 10. That means 1.29124. Dividing this number by 10, 1.29124. Then taking anti-log, we get 19.55. So the geometric mean of 10 workers' wages is 19.55. Right? This is the answer. We will take another example. Hope you have understood this. The logarithm of this 0.22 is negative. The value will be shown in the negative. Please remember, value is shown in the negative. That we will see in the solution. So here x is this one and log x is this one. Now this is minus and this is minus and this is minus values. Now 6.7368 is sum of log x. Now 6.7368 divided by 8, because we have 8 values, is 0.8421. The anti-logarithm for this is 6.952. So the geometric mean is 6.952 for this given series. Now we will see how to calculate the geometric mean for discrete series. In individual observations, because there is no frequency, we have taken only one series. In geometric mean, in discrete series, because f is there, we will multiply the log x with f. The frequency is multiplied by with log x. After taking log x, we will multiply them with frequency and then you add them. That is sigma f log x. And divide the sum by total number of frequencies, that is sigma f, n not. We have to take n. And then you find out the anti-logarithm. We will see an example. If you understand individual observations, it is very easy to understand discrete series and continuous series also. Now here we have the problem x f. X is variable and f is frequency. Now x is the first column and f is the second column. And in the third column we take log x. Logarithm of 10, logarithm of 20, logarithm of 30, 40, 50, 60 is taken here. And this is multiplied by frequency. 12 into 1.0000, 15 into 1.3010, 25 into 1.4771. Like this, we will take this. and the total frequency is 80, n is 80. So the formula is sigma f log x by n. We have to calculate the geometric mean as sigma f log x by n. That is 114.2349 divided by 80. That is the geometric mean. This is the solution. 114.2349 divided by 80 is antilog of 1.4279. If you find antilog, we will get 26.79. So the geometric mean of the given series is 26.79. So you please observe again, we have taken the help of frequency also if it is given. It is multiplied, just multiplied only after taking log x. We cannot multiply these two and take log x. First of all, you take log x of this x and then you multiply with f. The same method is followed even in the continuous series also. But in continuous series, what we will take is midpoint of x. So everything remains same. If you take midpoint of x, then again the table looks like this only. But please remember, you do not have direct method, shortcut method, everything. We have only one method, that is this one. Taking another example, calculate geometric mean from the following data. Again, this is x, this is f. We have to calculate log x, then f log x. First you take a logarithm of this series and then you take f log x and then you multiply the you add all the f log x, we will get sigma f log x. N is total of this one. So sigma f log x divided by n. N is, for example, 8 plus 10, 18, plus 14, 32, 38, 45, 48, 52, 56, 57, and 5 is 62. So sigma f log x divided by 62. Oh, sorry, 60. 8 plus 10, 18, plus 14, 32, 38, 45, 48, 52. Yes, 60. So sigma f log x divided by 60. Sigma f log x is 75.9196 divided by 60. So this is the method of calculating the geometric mean. Okay. Comparing the individual observations and discrete series, we have only one difference. That is, in individual observations, frequency is not there. Here, frequency is there. So the steps I will repeat again. First, you take logarithm of these series here, and then you multiply this log x by f. That is called f log x. So we will find out sigma f log x and then divide by 9. Then you find out the antilog of this number. We will go to solution. So adding sigma f log x is 75.9196 divided by 60. Antilog is 1.2653, 18.42. Geometric mean is 18.42. Now we will see in the continuous series. You please compare the discrete series with continuous series. The method of calculating the geometric mean in discrete series and continuous series, you please observe, because that will make you very comfortable while doing geometric mean problems. You also compare these individual observations with these two methods. So you please try to compare three methods, how we are calculating the geometric mean. So it will make very easy for you to calculate the geometric mean in any given series. Here in continuous series, steps are find the midpoints of classes and take their logarithms. Midpoints are x, m you can take, midpoints are m. So m in the third column, fourth column log x, log m, and fifth column f log m. That's all, f log m. And then divide the f sigma f log m by n. N is sigma f, that is given in the second column. We will take one example. This is the example. This is the series. These are the frequencies f. So total frequency is 8 plus 12, 20, 20, 20, 40, 40 plus 10, 50. So here marks, midpoints, frequency, we can take either way. You write the what you do in the examinations and practices. First you take marks, then you take frequency, then you take midpoint. It will be very easy because we will write whatever is given in the problem in the first two columns, and in the third column midpoint is calculated. Midpoint is calculated by taking upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2, or lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Same what we have learnt in the arithmetic mean is taken. So log m, we will take this. First of all, we have to calculate the, find out the log m, and then we will do f log m. Only this step you have to remember. So if you try to compare the discrete series with continuous, if you ignore this one and see only this midpoints, this series is nothing but same as discrete series. Same as discrete series. It appears as discrete series if marks class interval is not given. Because we are taking midpoints, we will take only this one. We will ignore this one after taking midpoints. So the remaining problem is same as discrete series. So we have frequency of n and sigma f log m 63.5406, and antilog of 1.2708 is 18.65. So the geometric mean is 18.65. Here also, please remember, in discrete series or geometric mean, if the data is same, then value will be same. Another example, we have another series 4, 8, 8, 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20, and so on. And the frequency is this one. So we'll take table, marks, midpoints, frequencies, log m, calculate the log m for this one. 6 log is 0.7782, 10 log is 1.0000, 14 1.146, and so on. So total frequency is 109, and sigma f log m is the 137.1936. So the final answer is 18.14. You please compare the methods very carefully, the procedure for calculating the geometric mean. So it will be very easy. Again, I am revising. In individual observations, we have only one column, that is x. So log x is calculated and added, and then geometric mean is calculated by taking the formula sigma log x by n. In discrete series, we have frequency. So, first of all, we will take the log of series, that is log x. Then we multiply the log x with frequency, that is f log x. We will add all the log x, f log x of all the series. Then sigma log x, f log x is by n is equal to antilog of that number. So the geometric mean will be calculated by taking antilog. In continuous series also, first we will take class interval in the first column, and in the second column we will take midpoints. And then we will calculate the logarithms for the midpoints. Then the midpoints logarithms will be multiplied with frequency, f log m. In the fifth column, we will take f log m. So we will add up all the f log m numbers. Then we will get sigma f log m. Then we have to divide by total number of frequencies. Then we will get antilog of so and so number. We will find out the antilog. Then geometric mean is calculated. So here we will see some important points that you have to remember well for calculating this geometric mean. First of all, care should be taken while identifying the logarithm values. This is very, very important because the logarithm tables are very close to each other number. So if you does not align the columns with the rows, gone with the wind, you will be going wrong. So please take the correct logarithm value from the logarithm table. Then if the items are 1 to 9, then the logarithm value will be 0 point something. If you have only single digit before decimal, the logarithm value will be 0 point something. If the number is 10 to 99, then logarithm value will be 1 point, because the characteristic of 10 to 99 is 2 digits number is 1. Similarly, characteristic of 3 digits is 2. Similarly, 3 digits is the 4 digits is 3. This is the characteristic. And if you have negative, 0.5 is 0.5 is minus 1. Actually, bar 1 we have to say. Bar means minus. So instead of bar, we are taking minus here. Like this, we have to take. If it is like this, the mantissa is minus 2. No. Yes. Like this, we have to take. So with this, we have came to an end of this lesson. We will quickly see the summary of the lesson, what we have understood. We have seen the definition of geometric mean. That is, geometric mean is the nth root of the product of n items or values. And geometric mean is based on each value. Coming to the merits and demerits, geometric mean based on each value in series and suitable to algebraic manipulation. And it is very difficult to compute and interpret. First of all, it is very difficult to understand the exact meaning of the definition. If you understand the exact meaning of definition, then it is very easy to compute and interpret also. We have seen individual series. Formula is antilog sigma log x by n. Discrete series formula is antilog sigma f log x by n. And coming to continuous series, antilog sigma f log m by n formula is used. You please remember the table which we have used. The table which we have used, you should remember very well, so that you can easily calculate the formula. So it is very important that you should be very careful in calculating the geometric mean, because we have to take logarithms, then divide by total frequencies, and then we'll take again antilog of that number, then we will get geometric mean. So you please remember the procedure very thoroughly, so that you will not go wrong. If required, you revise this lesson 3 or 4 times, so that you will understand the method very clearly. Right? Now we will go to assignment. You please attempt this assignment without fail. First is, what is meant by geometric mean? This is theory part. These two questions are theory. So you write the meaning of geometric mean, nth root of the product of given values. That's all. The answer is that one. Merits and demerits of geometric mean. So you have to list out the merits and demerits, what we have seen in the earlier slides. Now we'll attempt the problems. It is calculation of geometric mean in continuous series. This problem is related to continuous series. And again, one more continuous series problem is given. So you attempt these two questions. Then you will also you are also having two more problems. This is individual observations. This is also individual observations. So total 6 questions are given in this lesson. So you please understand the lesson first very thoroughly, and then you attempt this assignment. Then you will get the confidence of solving the problem. It is very, very easy if you understand the method of logarithms, procedure of logarithms perfectly. Okay, all the best. Thank you very much.